Hello and welcome to part 2 of the daily series where we talk about pizza in a mobile video game and all of the drama and insane responses revolving it. I really hate that every recent situation in Brawl Stars has some dumb word tied to it. Like, this is the only game where I can say that there's a pizza situation because that's literally what it is. Brawl Stars just released a massive tweet, like it is huge, of a response to the pizza situation, the insane backlash that people have been putting out for a problem that is much smaller than the average problem we've seen in the game, which is really surprising, but I feel like people have just had enough. Like, it's the third time in a row that something has went wrong with an event, and I think people are just like tweaking right now. I guess it's new year, new me, and everybody decided to just be completely toxic. In the last tweet that they made, majority of players who saw it didn't even read it, because in my last video, which I also went through the tweet, I went through everything. I got the same question like 100 times that was already explained in the video. So not only are people not reading the tweet, they're also just not listening or skipping forward in the video, which explains everything, and still asking, well, why did this happen? When is this happening? What is going on? Bro, like, I'm telling you right now. So just listen up, grab a snack, sit down, grab your other tablet and start playing Subway Surfers on it. I have compiled all of the main problems into this list right here. We're gonna go through them one at a time. The compensation is taking much longer than expected. This is the biggest thing that the original tweet already mentioned, yet still everybody is asking, well, where's the compensation? Without actually reading what they said. So at the beginning of the tweet, it says, we're running into issues delivering the 300 pizza slices compensation due to a high number of eligible players and the inbox not properly supporting these large numbers. I don't exactly know how that happens. Probably just server-side stuff that we don't understand, but it is what it is. This is what they're saying. As it stands, if we have used this method, the delivery could have taken up to 20 days to complete. To avoid that, we will explore a different way to deliver them outside of the inbox, I'm assuming. We aim to deliver the compensation to all eligible players next week after maintenance, most likely Thursday, January 9th. So we have a date. If it's later than this, then at least they said most likely, but we're still gonna hear so much about it if it is later. And also, players who have purchased their stuff will keep their stuff. You guys already should have your stuff back if you bought some. So that's a non-issue. So that covers when you're gonna get the compensation. No, you didn't just not get it. We just didn't get it yet. Main problem number 2, players don't think it's enough, but Supercell does. And here they explain why it's 300 pizza slices. They say it's a way to compensate for the lost day of progression. I'm not sure how much pizza you get per day, but I'm assuming it's more than you would get in a day because it says, and as an apology for those who did not get / use the unintended extra currency at the beginning of the event. Because there were a lot of players who did get their pizza, but they didn't use it because in the past, I believe there was at least one instance where if you used an exploit like this, you would get banned, or at least threatened to get banned. And this time, some players didn't know what to do. Some players spent all their pizza. They're not even getting punished this time. And some players didn't, and they basically got punished for not doing it because nobody's getting banned. I think that part is a little BS, but like at the end of the day, there's no way for you to really know for sure that it's a bug, especially if you're not like on the internet. If you're not looking up this stuff and you just suddenly get like 2,000 pizza, you could just think like, oh, they're just giving us some to start with, and then you spend it and then you get banned. Like, that would just be ridiculous. But at the same time, there's been a case where you can get banned for doing that kind of thing. So it's just like, it's so back and forth and there's no consistency there. I completely understand most of the gripes that people have with this. It's just the reaction that some people have is way too chronically online. Another thing I've seen is people saying that like, oh, they did all their quests on the first day and now they're all gone. I just lost progression. But right here, they say we also regenerated all 3 of the quests that were live at the beginning, so you didn't lose anything. And they say we understand that 300 pizza slices is not the same as what some of these players got to spend, but compensating everyone with a value too high would then create another issue in the event's economy, thus ruining the event. Nobody would care about it. Nobody would play it anymore because they would already have everything. The event would just be pointless, which I think is fair enough. Like, I don't think that everybody should just get a free event finish just because a small, tiny percentage of people got lucky. That's pretty much what it is. This has happened so many times, but it's just like such a big reaction that they had to make this massive post about it. The original plan was that an active player would be able to get 2,000 pizza slices in total, which some people got instantly. This compensation should still give everyone a good push to help buy some of the higher value offers in the event without hurting the game economy and demotivating players from playing the event. Just like I said, at the end of the day, we are all benefiting from this. Whether or not you got the pizza or you got to spend it, we're still all getting a boost and we're all gonna profit in the end. Like if this didn't happen, every single player in the game would have less, but some people just happen to get a lot more, which some people can't really let go of. It happened, we just have to move on. There's nothing to be done about it. They can't just give everyone everything. That's not how games work. No game has ever done that. No game ever will. It's not gonna happen. It's not realistic. We shouldn't be asking for that. That's just how it is. And if you go into life with that expectation, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. Right here, they say the percentages of players who actually got to use the pizza. So 3.6% of players who did the event in the first place in the first day managed to spend over 300 pizza slices, while only 0.4% got to spend over 2,000, which is basically finishing the event. Not that many players, but a lot of people are very jealous of those players and they want everything that they got for themselves. But again, that's just not gonna happen. And here they go on to say, on the first day of the event, the most a player could spend was a little above 2,000 pizza slices at the Pizza Planet shop. Once an offer is purchased, it is only regenerated the day after, so even if a player had 10,000 or more pizza slices, they were not able to spend it all. They got 1 day worth of shop. So realistically, they didn't even finish the event. They got one sweep and that's it. So it's definitely not as bad as other things we've seen, like when a bunch of us got 140 mega boxes, which basically maxes out our accounts. This is nowhere close to that. It's a couple skins, maybe a hypercharge. That's about it for the most part. Also, here's a little lore dump. So this player got 66,000 pizza slices, right? So they only got one sweep of this with their slices, and they managed to get a bunch of the event skins right here. Now, what a lot of people aren't realizing is that this person is the owner of the first 1 million gem drop that this game did. That's why he has this many slices. It's such a huge number that people like overblew. It's such a big number that a lot of people like freaked out about, but he didn't even get to spend it all. And this guy already finished the game. 1 million gems, done. He has everything. That's just how it is. And he even had to go on to say this: I'm just sorry to have made so much trouble and disappointment about Brawl Stars. I can explain why I got 66k. It's because for the Krusty Krab event, I bought literally the whole shop to help my club get the El Primo skin, and they go on to say a lot more. You can pause to read it if you want, but it all boils down to the fact that this person has already won 1 million gems and they've already completed the game. They can finish any event they want instantaneously for the rest of time. This guy won the Brawl Stars lottery. So we've already covered the third problem. Kind of forgot to mention that one. Moving on to the next problem. The players who got the pizza get to keep their skins because Supercell is scared of breaking their accounts. And also, Supercell says that most people are not scouring the internet for information. They're not like you and me. We're not looking at this stuff. People just kind of play the game and then go on with their lives. That's the majority, actually. But still, people find this very unfair, even though Supercell fully acknowledges everything I just said, which, all right, is completely fair to think that this is unfair. Does it warrant this insane reaction that some people are putting out? No. But those people are always going to exist. It's a game. So here is the section where they explain why they didn't remove items from people's accounts. Most players are not on social media and are unaware that there was any problem in the event, so any kind of punishment felt wrong. Some people could say the opposite, like just take it away. And I feel like the other side is saying, yeah, that makes sense because those players would get this thing. They wouldn't see any post about it because they don't look at the internet in this way. And then suddenly everything they just got was gone and they would feel super demotivated without even understanding what's going on. The fairest option would be to remove every item collected with these event pizza slices, but that unfortunately would take a lot of time from the team because the removal needs to be tailored to each case, which is a lot. Also, a mass rollback or removal of items is very risky and could generate more problems in these players' accounts. Thus, what I said, like they could break people's accounts on accident and that would just be an even larger issue. So instead of focusing on the players with extra pizza slices, we decided to give more to those who didn't get any, but as explained above, we couldn't give a lot due to the high value of this currency. They say we couldn't when they could. I think that's what a lot of people are upset about here. Like they can do it, but they're probably under some sort of policy that says like you can't just give away too much free stuff. Like that's an actual thing, but I don't know too much about it, so I can't go in depth. But like that's just how it is. They can't just give everything for free. Like they're also under restrictions. I know, billion-dollar company under restrictions. That's just how it is. And they go through this entire section with the biggest question that people are gonna ask: how is that fair? And they say it's not. They fully explain how it's not fair. This is the most open I've ever seen a game dev about an issue that happened. Usually game devs just ignore it or make excuses about it. But this is like a full explanation of like, this is what we're doing. This is what we can do. It's not fair, but it is what it is. And people are still freaking out about this, bro. This is the biggest reaction I've seen in a long time. And this is one of the smaller issues that have happened. Everybody in the game is benefiting from this in one way or another. Yes, some people, a very small percentage of people who like overextended in the last event got to keep their currency, which they go on to explain below. But basically what happened, if you didn't know, is in the SpongeBob event, if you had extra money, some people would get to keep that extra money that they had in the SpongeBob event and it would carry over here, so they got to spend it here. That's all that happened. But yeah, everybody's benefiting. And in case you want to read it for yourself, here is what they say happened. It's a recap of the Krusty Cash situation. They say at the start of the event, this amount of currency was supposed to be reset to 0 for everyone, but it only worked for some players. This means that some players who had leftover Krusty Cash from the previous event ended up getting this currency back as the Pizza Planet event started. To mitigate the situation, we decided to reset everyone's pizza slices to 0 and compensate only those players who have not used the extra pizza slices. So those people who got extra, whether it was 300, whether it was 2,000 or even more, they could only use enough to fill one shop, which is a lot, to be fair. It's a lot of stuff. And now we all benefit. Every single one of us gets a boost in the event that we would not have had otherwise. So at the end of the day, it's kind of a good thing that this happened. It's a really good thing for those players, and it's also good for the rest of us. So why are some of us telling the devs of Brawl Stars to die? I don't understand. I don't know what point in life you have to be at to reach that level of toxicity and anger at a mobile video game. It is wild. In general, the reaction is mixed. Of course, content creators are saying it's all right, and other people are saying it's still not. Then we have this meme, which is everywhere right now, that Brawl Stars players cannot read because most people are still complaining about these things, not understanding that they've already been mentioned and already been fully explained, yet they continue to complain about something that they have no idea about. We got the same meme twice. We even have a too long didn't read summary right here. And I think that this is the best response I have seen about the situation. Well, it sucks that this happened, but thanks for the clarification. Situation mitigated. That is it. That is the whole pizza situation. I don't think anything else is going to come of this. So, GG.